What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae, across the scours of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. Man, draft day is 2 days away, so let's go ahead and get into this docket because I seen one clip. I seen a little story that I had to feel out because it was saying that the Panthers could potentially trade up to get Abdul Carter on day one. Now, this was posted on Sports Illustrated via Bleacher Report, and it comes from apparently analyst Brad Gagnon said that Carolina could trade into the top three. But obviously, to get the number one overall pick, that is a very steep price. So more than likely, they would actually be going at either the second or the third overall pick with the Browns and the Giants respectively. With that being said, because Abdul Carter is projected to be the second overall pick, it would more than likely be the Browns. And here's what a trade would look like for them to potentially acquire it, according to Gagnon. You would have, the Browns would be getting our 8th overall pick in the first round, obviously, the 57th overall pick in the second round, a 5th round pick, a 2026 first round pick, and a veteran player, while we would receive the number 2 overall pick. And if y'all recall, that is a very similar deal to the one that gave us Bryce Young, as we got the number 1 overall pick. And to give it up to Chicago, we gave up DJ Moore, the number 9 pick, the 61st overall, a 2024 first round, which ended up being the number 1 overall pick that year, and the 2025 second round pick. So, with that in mind, how do I feel about doing this? Absolutely not. Here's the reason. One, the asking price for that is too steep right now, in my opinion. That's too steep for us to give up in the midst of building a foundation. That is a whole lot to give up when we're trying to rebuild this just for one player. We're losing assets that we'd be trying to use in this rebuild that we acquired from other teams. It just doesn't make sense. And then not only that, we did this once just to get Bryce. And essentially that was at the start or the very beginning of the rebuild to get our franchise quarterback for the future, right? You don't do that twice in the middle of a rebuild, bro. I'm sorry. There's no reason for you to do that twice. I get doing it one time in the middle of a rebuild because you think the player in that draft is that good, whether it be like a one-time receiver, one-time edge rusher, one-time quarterback. Okay, I understand that. But when you're in the midst of a rebuild and you've acquired a plethora of assets through picks and good signings, and you've already done this play one time, you don't immediately go and throw away all those assets and do it again. I'm sorry, that's just me. Y'all might be mad at me, but I'm not a fan of this idea. It just doesn't resonate with me in my mind. Now, we could have the rare possibility that they want to do a 1-for-1 swap. I highly doubt it. But if Cleveland is stupid enough to say, hey, yo, let's do a 1-for-1, you give us the 8th overall pick, we'll take the 2nd overall pick, and we can go get Carter, absolutely, you take that. But I'm not being like optimistic or unrealistic. Like, come on now, they're not going to do that without asking for a lot in return. Plus, when I think about it, trading up in of itself is not a bad idea when it doesn't come at a horrendous price or a huge cost. Because I think a lot of us, if Bryce honestly didn't have the turn of the page in his career like he did toward the end of the season last year, a lot of us would be thinking that Bryce was a waste and all those assets that went to Chicago, it was not worth it. But everything's starting to flourish now, so it doesn't look as bad. I've just never been a fan of giving up a whole lot. I understand sometimes you do have to give up a lot to get up there, but it just it just makes me really fishy because you can move up without having to give up everything, the cow, the barn, and everything in it. So right now, in my mind, Carolina trading back makes more sense than them trading up. And overall, I think that's the direction they're going to go. They're going to go trading back. It just makes more sense, especially when you can acquire more assets and more draft capital and make more moves that way. But when I look at their first round and I think about the things they've done with the first round, that leads me to think about the foundation that Carolina has built through the first round. And our first round pick this year could be the next solidifying piece in the foundation we've built up. Because, guys, let's look at this. These are our last 5 first-round picks. Derek Brown, J.C. Horn, Ike Ekwonu, Bryce Young, and Xavier Leggett. To be truthful, we haven't missed on picks. And if you want to throw in the 2 before that, Brian Burns and DJ Moore, if we still had them, that would look amazing over the board. So, honestly, this core that they're building around, like, management hasn't missed. They really haven't. And if I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about it, the best players out of that core right now, the best out of the core would be J.C. Horn or Derek Brown. And I'm going to give the edge to Derek Brown because he has been consistently healthier than J.C. over the time of their careers. That's just a fact. Let's call it for what it is. And the worst, unfortunately, it would be Bryce, but I also take into account, given what he was coming into, and we traded away, honestly, his number one weapon in DJ Moore, like Christian McCaffrey was gone too, and the position that he plays because he is QB1, he's going to catch a lot more scrutiny, so that's why Bryce would be labeled the worst, and just when you look at the numbers, it wasn't great at first. But as I continue to look at this man, we're honestly in a great place moving forward as an organization. This group has potential to be the threat, like core group down the line that can have us contending in the playoffs, have us contending for potential Super Bowl appearances, potentially, as long as we continue to progress in the right direction and no further like major injuries happen. That is the key to all of this. We have to continue to progress in the right direction. And I know injuries are a part of the game. We all know injuries are a part of the game. But if they don't happen, it could be beautiful. Man, I honestly see it. And speaking of injuries, and not so much, but this player got a lot of PT because of an injury. Carolina did re-sign LaBryan Ray today, or yesterday actually. They did re-sign LaBryan Ray yesterday as he signed his exclusive rights tender for $1.03 million. And honestly, it's not a bad signing. Not in my mind. It's not a bad signing because when you think about it, he put up 41 tackles and a sack last year as he was filling in for the injured Derek Brown. And him signing that ensures Carolina has depth on the D-line as we're trying to retool it and bring everybody back healthy. And we know if somebody gets hurt, he can fill the role. If somebody is taken out, he can fill that slot and help us keep that depth and that depth and continuity. So doing this, and also it's on a friendly budget, only $1.03 million. It's not crazy hit. I think it's not a bad signing. I like it. I'm okay with it, and I am definitely a fan of it. But guys, that is all I have to do for today's episode. If you enjoyed this, if you have any comments about the signing, have any comments about our foundation, have any comments about the potential trade for Abdul Carter, please leave a comment below. Make sure to like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel so you get all the notifications, and let me know your thoughts because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all of you, Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. I'll see you next time, and keep pounding it always.